So this is just kind of showing you a little bit of the finished part, and the beginning and the side is just the part with the outlines and the fills taken out of this. You can select this or change the file, change the fill, but this has just a number of pieces. There's the button that has a little bit of a tone to it, and the whole piece just kind of making a duplicate so you can see it. And the question marks on both the fill and the stroke is just showing that you have things that are selected that are mixed together. So just by taking the point size down and changing it back to black, you can reduce it down just to see the outline of the stroke. You can also go up to the view outline mode, and that'll let you just see the outlines without any of the color, strokes, patterns, or fills, and just returning back to that. But coming back to this part, it's just a series of outlines that are filled in. So when you think of the basic elements of design with the line setting that piece up there, that's where it's headed to. So any parts that you have is just trying to take a section there. So here's just a layer with the pen tool clipped up on the top there. So it's going to give you that selection. So just by doing a shape that comes across that piece, and you can take the direct selection tool to select pieces. This is just hitting the Shift X to show the value and just rotating that down to make it a curved section. And then you can simply just duplicate it. If the lines overlap, it's not going to interfere because you can use the shape builder to help you do this. And that way all the pieces are clipped real close to the shape, and you don't have to worry too much about the edges. So essentially that's what this section is doing, just kind of dragging this so you can see the movement of it and see this part. So that's going to move that selection to it, and you're just using the pen tool all the way across the selection. So that'll give you that mindset into that piece. So here's just doing some of the outlining of this section and building that part up. So hopefully you can see that connection. So every piece that you put on the top is going to build into that section onto the bottom. So just trying to outline this section here. And as long as the anchor point or the pen line goes right to that section, it'll definitely make sure that it's connected. And you have those pieces. Any pieces that are top that seem astray, just make sure they're connected, and they'll become a shape that you can then fill. And building that part up to the section. So it'll give you a good line to it. Maybe a little bit long in there. And if it just matches, anchor points will just meet itself, and you're ready to go with the whole drawing. So you have the image, just kind of make that line section there, and you have the image part that you can then use the shape builder to illustrate, and then use all the gradients to try to get the dark values included into this piece. See if this will work here. So just take pen to the anchor point all the way across, trying to build up all the details that you have ahead of time, and I'll give you those edges for it. See if this will come across. And then for the button here, just using the elliptical tool. If you zoom into it, you can see both, and just make an option and copy. There's a couple of extra pieces left over, so just take those out. But you have your drawing, and it's become very precise with the Illustrator, and then you're just going to go to the file to do the shape builder part. And that'll get you selected there. So once you have it selected, it's a good idea sometimes to duplicate it so that you have it in case you lose it or something happens where it crashes, that type of thing. And just have it selected, go to the shape builder, and whether you have the fills or not, you can create the entire thing to give one value to it. That's for the stroke, so just flip it with Shift X and then fill it with a gray. So now the entire shape is gray, and as the mouse goes over it, there's all the shape builder putting together all those pieces, and just by virtue of taking the values, it'll start to fill up. Just click and drag it across, and all these pieces come across, so you can quickly put all those sections together. Kind of buttons it up there, gives you the edges, selecting all these parts, and the checkerboard's letting you know that everything's highlighted there for it, so it'll get you set up. And if you have the gradients already set up in the values, then that'll be something right here that you can click on, and at least it'll get it set in there, and you can use the gradient editor to go back and make the reflections a little bit more highlighted. So something like this you can use and adjust the gradients to build that section across. So it's kind of giving you plenty of space on there to illustrate for that section of it, and it'll get you highlighted into that piece. So now here you zoom out a little bit, and you can get into doing the type. So just typing in the logo, for example. And this is just using the font. Didn't actually create the logo, but what you do is you make the type straight away, and under type, create outlines. Now it's just an editable shape that you don't have any type restrictions. Just rotate it, put it in place, get the free transform, click on it, and grab the corner, just lay it down right along the top there, same near the W. You can kind of adjust a little bit, gradient. Now fills the type. Here we just use a white type. Go to the effects, there's a Photoshop stylize, just go to regular stylize, drop shadow, preview. And there's the button for the blur, distance, and the percentage opacity. Just back it up to about 1 and 1, and there you have like a little gradient shadow, drop shadow. Or if you don't want to do that, just duplicate a copy, show this way. Go to the appearance panel, turn off the gradient, and just fill that. Probably just as easy to go to the swatches and fill it black, duplicate it, and just drag it right up top. So now the white is on top of a black shape. And it does the same thing, gives you a nice crisp, it's a crisp edge. You can blur that if you want to, but that old school way of doing it. Here's your WACOM or WACOM tablet. Lettering right there for you. Nice and easy. Take a look at the layers. There's the image right there. Let's zoom into it. You can do a screenshot of that. That gives you pretty close to what you're doing. Everything's sufficiently placed in there. You're ready to go.